Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode. This episode is going to be about invasive species. So yeah, I'm currently stood in the top corner of our woodland, between the road and the public footpath. And you can see here, these are all rhododendrons. And turn around here, these are all rhododendrons. I know laurel is another sort of, it looks like rhododendron, but I'm not quite familiar with exactly its ecological status. The most important priority for the time being is just restoring the woodland to its natural homeostasis so that we can ensure that it is a healthy, functioning ecosystem before we then start to try to integrate our own activities into the woodland. But the purpose for today's video is we have all of these sleepers that we've just brought in last week or the week before, and we need to get them down to our main project area. But basically there is a path down there going this way. While it is for the most part clear, it's quite hilly and there's lots of different turns, and it comes out through the opening down there. And of course this is all rhododendron in between. So you can just see through there, there is a little bit of a clearing, and that is where we've started to clear a new path. So that's sort of the main task for today, is just to clear a wider path that would just take us, it would just cut out, it's only going to make a shortcut instead of walking around that way, coming around back there and then down there. It's just going to make it so much easier just to carve straight down here, and then it'll come through to the clearing that's down there anyway. So with these rhododendrons, the plan is to just get them out of here. As beautiful as they are, like I said, we are trying to restore the natural landscape of the woodland and natural ecology of the woodland. This entire area that's full of rhododendrons here should be open woodland like this. And I realised that if we cleared this 2-acre sort of infestation, I'm estimating 2 acres, infestation of rhododendrons, then it'll just open up the whole woodland and it'll just restore it to a more natural state, which will allow other plants, more native plants, to grow instead. Beautiful open part of the woodland, that's all rhododendron, that's all rhododendron, and this is all rhododendron, but soon we'll have a more connected landscape, not only for us to be able to walk through, but for the entire ecology of the woodland to thrive. My camera died, so I didn't get to finish saying what I was saying. So we've cleared the path. We're going to start moving these timbers through to the main area. Now, of course, rhododendrons aren't all bad. They do provide habitats for a variety of species. I have seen quite a few deer nesting in this area before. And it is nice. I do like seeing the rhododendrons in full bloom. Like I said, they're beautiful, but like I said, I'm just trying to figure out the right way to word this. Their effects on the local ecology outweigh any aesthetic, appeal that they might have. Oh, that was bigger than I thought. Oh, I understand that I am rambling a lot where I should really be working, so I'm going to sort of try to work as I talk. But let's just talk about what it actually means for a species to be an invasive species. What does that mean? Because we hear a lot nowadays about trying to increase biodiversity, especially in this country where biodiversity is at an all-time low. So when you have a species like rhododendron, then that's actually decreasing biodiversity and can be harmful to the ecosystem. They just grow rampant and they overcompensate for the lack of sunlight, and they swamp out trees. They cause too much shade on the ground, so you can't get native flowers and ground flora coming through. And they strangle trees, and that stops moss and lichens from growing on the trunks of trees because there's still no sunlight, and they block all the rainfall so there's no moisture underneath. They leave the soil very dry because they suck all the nutriment out of it. And that's why they're considered invasive, because they're not just adding a wider variety to the ecosystem. So let's start by just chopping this little part off here. I will say, for the record, if you're hoping to learn safety from these videos, go elsewhere. They're very violent today. They're snapping really, really violently. I think it's because they're dry. I've been cutting them this year up till now. It's May now, so I've been cutting them from like January, February. They've been quite damp, very soft. They're snapping very loudly, and they're coming down super fast as well, faster than usual. Usually they're just gone. So I do have to be careful today, and because I'm not used to them falling like that, so I've just got to watch out. Because the dangerous thing with rhododendrons is they kick back because there's a lot of tension, especially since they are a softer wood. Even when they're dry, they're still softer. Because there's a lot of tension in them, they're very bendy. Then when you cut to a certain point, it'll snap and they usually shoot back towards you. It's quite dangerous. It's probably best to use a saw with these. I wouldn't say a chainsaw with these because they're very soft. The chainsaw just sort of chews it up instead of cuts. And also, if you're chainsawing, then they might snap too suddenly for you to be able to get out of the way. That's why I prefer an axe, because you can get that distance on it. But it's just being wise about sort of which tree you're going for. Don't just start swinging. Look sort of where it's leaning, and always have an escape route as well. And these are the ones that don't come out the ground as well, so they're especially hard to remove. Cutting them down is sort of a short-term solution. It's better than nothing, and it lets a lot more light into this area. There's been bluebells growing here for the first time in years down here. For now though, let's just kill these rhododendrons.
I'm gonna say 3 more swings. 3 more swings, it goes down.
One swing.
If it's one swing, it's one swing. I want to see it. Oh. 2. Yeah! Oh, that was a horrible snap. It was good though. Got it on camera. A bit of wood just landed here. That's gonna be that might be a good shot. Nice. Open area. That tree was unseeable. Crazy. I'm getting my swings there.
Yeah.
Woo!
There you go. Nice.
Done. Woo! I found my swinging technique. Smells nice. I can smell that from here.
Oh, that's...
I can smell it from here.
Dude, that smells like vanilla ice cream or something.
What the hell?
That's so weird.
Wow, that moved a lot.
Oh, that's gonna fall. But like I said, I will keep sort of a video diary of removing these rhododendrons. I will definitely be doing a before and after. Maybe 1 year from now, January 2026, we'll look at all of this and we'll say, wow, look at how much we've done and look at how the ecosystem is just rebounding
bouncing back into life. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on Project E. Bye.